the version 10.10 update has just went out, and I really wasn't expecting that. Yo guys, what is going on? Bobblez here. Today we have just received the version 10.10 update to Fortnite. Now, this was meant to be an absolute huge one. Not too sure over the very brief little scan I've had as to see what is going on, whether I'm actually disappointed or not, but we'll find out very soon. I'm going to read through all of it with you guys here. We've got a bunch of random stuff happening. I don't know what Fortnite are doing. Without further ado, let's jump into the patch notes. Let's see exactly what is going on within the world of Fortnite. So here we go. This is what I was a little bit confused as with, guys. We've got zombies. A battle royale. What's new? Retail Row. A rift zone has turned Mega Mall back into Retail Row. Fabulous, that's amazing. And prices have dropped significantly. These discounts come at the cost of increased danger. Bargain crazy fiends are spawned in the rift zone, and they want the shopping centre all to themselves. So I love the story that they've created with this. I think it's brilliant, and I always kind of enjoyed the zombies for an hour or so. Not a few days, but an hour. Now we've got it in for good in Retail Row. We've got a little trailer here. I'm not going to judge it until I've seen it. Let's have a look, guys, together. Well then, it's basically what we've always had in the past. It's just zombies. There's nothing different about them except for they're in Retail Row now, and they're in there for good. I don't know what to think of this. I really don't. I'm going to give it a go. I'm going to hopefully enjoy it, but I don't know what I'm thinking. Let me know down in the comments, what are you guys thinking of this? I really was not expecting zombies to be brought back. There's been nothing but negative feedback about zombies in the game, about these fiends, and they're adding them for good in Mega Mall. Not Mega Mall, Retail Row. Don't know what to think of that. Let's move on though. Now we've got World Run LTM. Dip, dodge and duck through treacherous traps, lava pits and more to become the world's fastest lane runner. 16 players are raced to complete the course. The first team to collect 30 coins win. So I take it this is going to be like the downtown drop mode, except for it's just running and you're teaming now and you've got to get the coins. Seems pretty good. You don't get XP for these kind of modes though, so I ain't interested. But here we go. Limited time mode rotations is basically just the World Run LTM. That's about it. Nothing else said here, so I don't know what the other ones are, but yeah, I mean, I'll give it a go once, and that'll probably be it. Next up here, we've got weapons and items. First on the list, unvaulted only in the sword fight, squads, and duos LTMs. The Affinity Blade, we knew that would happen anyway, because that is obviously in the sword fight, so obviously sword fight is going to be coming as one of the LTMs. Increase the number of resource stacks contained in chests in Tilted Town from 1 to 3. That's pretty interesting. So obviously you're going to be getting more mats when you're actually in Tilted, so when you leave, you're not absolutely defenseless basically. Next up here, B.R.U.T.E updates. This is what I was very interested in. Here we go. Hopefully we actually got some nerfs here. Added a targeting laser that appears as players load and fire missiles. We knew that was coming. That's pretty good. In addition to the B.R.U.T gun, this laser is visible to opponents and teammates. This is to help give clarity to all players on where a gunner is aiming their rockets before they're fired. Yeah, nothing too different about that. Obviously, if you know where they're firing, you know if you're gonna die or not, because no matter what, if there's a laser or not, you're gonna die basically if these rockets are facing you. Improved visuals and audio feedback during the self-destruction sequence. That's pretty good because I could never tell if it was self-destructing or not. B.R.U.T.E can now be entered directly from glider mode. Okay, that's like a buff, but whatever. Update B.R.U.T.'s spawn logic for large team respawn in game modes. Yeah, fair enough. B.R.U.T.'s will now spawn intermittently throughout the match instead of waiting for storm phases to end. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. I play quite a lot of Team Rumble, so that makes sense. B.R.U.T.'s abandoned in the storm will self-destruct after 30 seconds. Very interesting. B.R.U.T.'s will reappear on the minimap after 15 seconds if no player is in either seat. Oh, so if you get out, then it's going to basically show everyone on the map their location of this brute, so they can go and basically kill it. I like that. I'm very happy about that. That's a good change there. Thank you for that. Finally, we've actually seen one very minor, but it is still one actual nerf to this thing. Bug fixes. Fixed an issue in which opponents' brutes would sometimes not be visible. Thank goodness, because that was ridiculous. I got killed so many times in arena because the brute was invisible. It was driving me mental. Brutes can no longer be used to traverse the map faster than intended. Interesting. The turn rate of the brute's turret is no longer frame rate dependent. Interesting. Okay. A lot of stuff to do with the brute. Not really too much on the whole nerf side of things, but they're working on it basically. What I like about this is it clearly shows that Fortnite are trying to balance this thing out. They don't want it overpowered, even though it is incredibly too overpowered. They're working on it, so we've got to give them time, guys. Next up here, gameplay. This is where it gets interested. Retail Row. A Rift Zone has replaced the Mega Mall POI with Retail Row. Cool. Retail Row now spawns hordes of fiends who charge at players. Fiends may drop a weapon, consumable, or ammo upon being eliminated. That's the only part I actually like about these things. Fiends cannot go outside of Retail Row Rift Zone. That's interesting. I like that. I'm glad about that. Chests and ammo containers will now open when destroyed. That's good. I'm happy about that. So if you accidentally break it, it's going to open. Thank you. Known issue, destroying a chest or ammo container by destroying an object that it's placed on will not open it. Plan to have this issue resolved in the version 10.20 update. Nice. Bug fixes. The week 1 and week 2 hidden battle stars can now be collected. Thank you. I was running around the map like crazy yesterday trying to get these hidden battle stars and I couldn't get them. So I'm glad that I can now finally retrieve them. Trees no longer turn into different kinds of trees upon damage. This includes snow-covered trees no longer turning into non-snow-covered trees. This happened to me the other day and I was actually kind of really confused and just laughing at how bizarre that glitch was, but it's been fixed now. Fixed an issue in which chests would sometimes already be broken or opened at the start of the match. The Welcome to Tilted Town message will no longer loops when the player enters exits Tilted Town. It also no longer overlaps storm warnings. That's pretty good. Next up here we've got events. Pushed a fix on August 5th to address the arena matchmaking issue causing players to be matched within a wider hype range than intended. Because players are now matched within a narrow hype range, some players may experience longer queue times. This is to ensure higher quality matches. That kind of sucks. Don't really want people to be having longer queues, but it is what it is. Next up here, this is interesting. Art and animation. Plastic patroller outfit visual update. Adds mud smears, wear and tear, and a brighter outline. These changes were added to prevent this outfit from providing a camouflage effect in certain areas of the map, which was making it very difficult to see. That's very interesting. All players who previously purchased this outfit will have the option to refund it without using a refund token if they choose to do so. This refund option will be available for 30 days within the timer started after you next log in. That is very interesting. I don't know what to think of that. I'm excited to see what this thing actually looks like. I have the guy one. I don't know if that's the plastic patroller or the toy one. I don't really know, but very interesting. I'm excited to see what this skin now looks like. Oh, interesting, here under UI they've updated the item shop background. Very interested to see what that's gonna look like also. Pretty weird, but pretty cool. Bug fixes here. The tiles for completed missions no longer display 0%. Thank goodness. I have that on all of them. I think everyone has it. It's so annoying, and I'm glad to see that that's gone. Suggested challenges on the map screen no longer take up the entire space or show level up missions. Thank goodness. Obviously you can't really just all of a sudden level up to level 65 in one go, so I'm glad that they've actually removed that. Finally guys, there is an absolute bunch of replay, mobile and creative updates. I'm not going to read through those because I don't think there's nothing too amazing involved with them. I'm not personally too bothered. If you guys are on mobile or you play a lot of creative, you might want to check them out. So I'm going to leave a link to these patch notes in the description below so you can go and check them out for yourselves. But that is basically everything important. Final thing here, in creative, the B.R.U.T E has now been added, so GG, have fun everyone with the brute that play creative. I don't even know what to say that. But anyway, guys, that is everything within the version 10.10 patch notes. Not too sure what to think that. Really not too much that's been added. Retail Row obviously being the biggest one. We haven't actually received a new weapon or item, which is kind of a bit like interesting since it was delayed a day. I thought there would kind of be a lot more to this update, but nevertheless excited to see what it's all like. Excited to see the actual patroller, the toy patroller skin. I can't remember what it's called. It's got a complicated name, okay? Excited to see what that looks like. But anyway, guys, I hope you have enjoyed the video. If you have found it useful, then please obviously leave a like to show that you enjoyed. Subscribe to me for more Fortnite content. Finally, creator code Bobblez in the Fortnite item shop to help support me. But anyway, guys, thank you all for watching, and until next time, see ya.